Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, Austin here. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Week 7's booming and busting wide receivers. My start of the week, I'm going to say, is going to be Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay is a guy who last year, he averaged, I think it was about 21 yards per reception, which is ridiculous. He's an amazing deep threat for the Detroit Lions. He's healthy again. When he's out, the Detroit offense kind of stalls. When he's in, Matthew Stafford finally has the deep threat to take the top off the defense and really do a lot. That's why I think right now Matthew Stafford's going to have a great game against Atlanta. Plus, Atlanta's secondary is not great by any standards. Kenny Golladay should be looking to come back, especially, coming up on a contract year. I think next year is his contract year. So, he really wants to become the center part of the offense. Look for him to have a fantastic game. T. Higgins versus Cleveland. The Cincinnati wide receiver, the rookie wide receiver, he's been actually the best target, or at least the most productive target on a per-game basis for the team, so that's something to look at. Cleveland does not have a great secondary, and with their one shining star-ish on the defense in terms of the secondary, I believe his name is Denzel Ward, the cornerback, he'll probably be guarding Tyler Boyd, and if not, he'll be on AJ Green. Expect T. Higgins to get a lot of those, the number one guys not guarding me. I'm going to get a lot of targets. He'll be getting a lot of those looks. So look to start him. DJ Moore, the Carolina Panthers wide receiver against New Orleans. Now, like I said earlier, I think that Teddy Bridgewater is going to have a good game. I don't expect Mike Davis to. I think DJ Moore, this is going to be one of his games, especially going up against New Orleans, where the number one wide receiver right now, Robbie Anderson, is going to be covered by Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore is not the best cornerback in the game, but I think he's the best big game cornerback in the game. Because when it comes down to covering the big play wide receivers, he can smoke Keenan Allen. He smokes Mike Evans. He'll take care of Julio Jones. He's a very excellent cornerback when it comes to taking on the big assignments. So that's why I think that DJ Moore is going to have a renaissance game. Going back to last year where DJ Moore was, the number one wide receiver. He was a top 10 fantasy guy. Terry McLaurin versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, last year I was very high on Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. He started out, I think it was his first 7 games. He had 6 touchdowns. It was fantastic. But this year, he's in his second year. He's got a little bit more rapport with this quarterback now, Kyle Allen, it looks like, than he does with last year's quarterback, which was kind of like a mixture of, random people. Expect Terry McLaurin to come out and have Julio Jones type numbers against what we're possibly looking at as the worst defense in the history of the NFL. They're on pace to have the worst defense in the history of the NFL. So, for those of you guys that are Cowboy fans, be happy. Your team's making history. And Juju Smith-Schuster against the Tennessee Titans. I don't believe in the Tennessee Titans secondary. Tennessee, normally, they've been a pretty good defensive team over the years, but right now they seem to have a propensity to give up a lot of points on their way to their victories. I don't think they'll be able to do that, and I think they're accidentally going to give up too many points, and I think they're going to be through Juju Smith-Schuster in the air. My sit, another surprising sit, I'm going to say Michael Thomas. Now, I think I just saw a report that said he had tweaked his hamstring, so there might only be 4 relevant players to sit, but, this is just brand new information to me, so make sure to look out for that. Allen Robinson against the Los Angeles Rams. Allen Robinson is the only wide receiver of note on the Chicago Bears, meaning he's going to be going up against Jalen Ramsey for the majority of the game, and, Jalen Ramsey has, somewhat fallen from his 2017 stature in Jacksonville. Jalen Ramsey is still a top 5 cornerback in the NFL by any metric. So be careful if you have any option that might be better, sit Allen Robinson. I'm going to say sit Will Fuller against Green Bay. I believe that Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks for the Texans are basically just going to be decoys, if that, against Green Bay. Green Bay's got a pretty great secondary right now. It's surprisingly good, at least. So he'll be having a poor performance. Tyreek Hill against Denver. This is going to be another weird one. I expect Justin Simmons to single-handedly take the challenge of guarding Tyreek Hill. I don't think that Denver wants to pull everyone back to, spread out the defense, because then it's going to be a Travis Kelce game. But I think that Justin Simmons, who's top 5 safety in the game right now. Denver actually has, a couple really good safeties, but I think that in terms of, way on the back end of the defense, I think they'll be good enough to cover up whatever Tyreek Hill wants to do. And then Jamison Crowder versus Buffalo. He's going to be going up against Tre'Davious White, who's a top 10 cornerback in the NFL right now. And he's really the only option right now that the New York Jets have. They don't have a lot on their team, especially now without Le'Veon Bell, without Robbie Anderson. This team's really a mess, and I expect, Jamison Crowder to not be able to put up his normal performance this week.